What's going on, family? It's your girl Amber J back with another episode of the Dear World Podcast. Yes, it has been a month of Sundays, literally, since I have made a podcast. Better get a video podcast, but we back. So let me tell y'all, my goal is to make a podcast every 2 weeks, and I'm gonna try to hold myself accountable. But I also need like my viewers, my family, whomever, to hold me accountable to doing that. Because it's real easy for me to fall off that train, that consistency, fudge. We're not even going to cut that. We just keep it rolling, keep the tapes rolling. It's real hard for me to stay on that consistency train with the podcast. Honestly, with consistency in general, because, I accept that about myself. Yep, I'm not really consistent. I'm a consistent person, but when it comes to like, I think my goals or things that I want to do, I'm not consistent. I can acknowledge that. I'm gonna work on that. Now that I have verbalized it, like, I'm gonna work on it, okay? But anyway, my goal is to make podcasts every 2 weeks. I want to get back into doing interviews. I think that I want to start talking about like TV shows and stuff. Don't quote me on that because I don't know. But yeah, just being more consistent in the 2025. Happy New Year. I'm 2 months late, but better late than never, okay? What? I'm trying to think about what I want to say because I record my nose itch. I don't want y'all to think I'm digging my boogers, but if I was, it's my nose, mind your business. But I'm trying to think of what I want to say because I recorded a podcast like 2 weeks ago and I never posted it because I had notes in front of me and it just didn't feel natural. It didn't feel like my authentic self because y'all know I just hop on the camera and I just get to talking and that's just me. Why? Let me calm down. But that's how I am, you know. So I'm just trying to go with the flow, give y'all something to start off with before we do jump back into the every 2 week podcast. What's new with me? Nothing, not a damn thing. Let's see. Last time I talked to y'all, I had graduated. We mastered that. I'm gonna keep saying it because it's something to be proud of. We mastered that. You know, I was real stressed out in school. I ain't like that. And I got the nerve to be thinking about getting a PhD. But with Cheeto Puff, I don't know if I'm going to because I don't have the money to pay for it up front. And whatever he doing with the Department of Education, I might not be able to. But I also am like $100 and something thousand in student loan debt. And I don't want no more student loan debt. I don't. And now y'all putting on credit reports and reporting when you late with payments and all that. I don't have time. But anyway, I finished school. Oh, I know. In December for my birthday, shout out to my sister because she took me to see J. Cole in New York. Like, she flew me out. And we got to see J. Cole in concert. That was a dream come true. That was on my bucket list. I cried a little bit. If you don't know, J. Cole is my favorite artist, Cole World. Yeah, that was a great experience. And even now when I look back, even though it was 2 months ago, I say it like it was a long time ago, but I can still look at the videos and pictures and it makes me happy. Like, that truly filled my heart. It's like, what? I got to see J. Cole. And his energy and his crowd's energy, chef's kiss, it was everything. So if you've never had the opportunity to see J. Cole in concert, when he pop out again, y'all need to pop out to that concert. Because I had told myself the next time that he was in concert, I had to go regardless of where it is and what it was. And my sister made that happen. I have the best big sister. Like, y'all just don't understand. And I told her, I said London was a great time. We had went to London in 2023. And I was like, that was a great time. But this concert trumped that crazy enough. And I was dead ass. You feel me? Like, it definitely did. What else? I have been on my just start, you know. We not waiting on perfect timing. We not waiting on other people. We not waiting until the stars align. None of that stuff. So I have been just starting doing my business stuff. I am working on why am I talking like that? I'm working on not a nonprofit. I wanted to be a nonprofit, but nonprofit's just too much work, too much red tape. I don't got time for that. But a organization that helps youth. So right now I'm working on building out my website. I have no fucking clue what I'm doing, and I keep calling my friend to ask for help, but she hasn't come back. So I'm like, I'm just start, and I'm gonna just do it. So I'm working on that. Trying to figure out my logo because I'm like, what? So I'm doing that. I am working on another book, but I'm feeling stumped. I need to get back into things that spike my creativity. So reading, just watching other creators and all of that, because that is how you get creativity. So I'm trying to get back in my bag of like sensory rest and creative rest. Remember, we talked about the 7 forms of rest many moons ago in another episode. So I'm trying to get back to that. I also am going to rewrite the Dear World planner that I released. I think it was in 2023 when I did the Meet the Author event. That might have been 2022. Shit, I don't know. But we're going to redo that one. It is going to be a more interactive, more quote-ish type of energy. I don't know. I'm mapping it out. It's going to be great. That's going to come out this year. I don't care if I have to work on it night and day for the next how many ever days. It's gonna come out this year. So I'm working on that. Trying to get $1 million by tomorrow, honestly. But no, trying to find a new job because I need a new job. I'm at the point where I find myself getting frustrated and overwhelmed. Like, I think that was last week or 2 weeks ago. I had a whole fucking meltdown. I got home and just cried. I cried real bad. Like, I'm tired of this. I just want to quit. And it's not that I'm a punk or nothing. I just was so frustrated. I could have rocked somebody's shit. And I had to bring it back, you know. So tears was the only way that I could truly express my frustration. But I am trying to grow where I am planted, keeping God first. I'm like, maybe you have something that you were trying to teach me still in this environment, Lord. So let them lessons come, because I am currently in the waiting room, and being in the waiting room with God can sometimes be frustrating. It can be painful. It can be annoying, all of those things. But I am trying to do my best to grow where I am planted. But I also notice, like, when I get frustrated with an environment, a job specifically, and I'm over it, and it takes me to that, like, boiling point, sometimes I start to nut up. And I'm trying not to do that. Like, it be facial expressions not under control. Sometimes I just say stuff and I'm like, damn, I should have said that. Said that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to keep it together. Trying to stay on the path with God. Definitely trying to stay consistent with journaling every day. I fell off for a minute when the year first started. I was doing really well in 2024. And then when, you know, at some point between like the 15th of January and the 1st of February, I fell off, but we're back. So I journal every day. Not your typical just writing out how was your day. I either talk about my day, I do a journal prompt, or I'm just, you know, talking to God or whatever. And then I do 3 things that I'm grateful for. And I also put the word of the day in the journal, because I have also been trying to work on my vocabulary, increasing my vocabulary. So I do that. I was trying to teach myself Spanish. I paid for Duolingo, and yeah, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. I don't know, gracias, ¿y tú? That sentence didn't really make sense, but that's the level of Spanish that I have retained. But I'm definitely going to try to teach myself Spanish. But I also know sometimes I try to do too much at one time and then I end up doing nothing. So I'm trying to untrain myself from that horrible pattern. But that's about it. That's new with me. Yeah. But this episode I wanted to utilize to talk about relationships. And I know I spend a lot of time talking about relationships. This is not a relationship podcast, although I do talk about relationships a lot. But I specifically want to talk about myself in a relationship and the things that I have learned. So for the first time in my life, I truly believe that I am in a healthy relationship. I don't think I've ever been in a healthy relationship. I've either always been in a situationship or a toxic ass relationship with a toxic ass person. No shade, no tea on any of my exes. Love y'all to pieces, but y'all just was not the fuck for me. But just this journey in this relationship has taught me so much about myself, and it has been so much work. And this is also the first man that I've ever actually wanted to do the work for, so that we can sustain the relationship and I can be the best version of myself for myself, but also the best version of myself for him. And I realize relationships take a lot of work, right? It's two people coming together, figuring out life. Y'all coming from two different walks of life, sometimes two different sides of the track, two completely operating systems, the way you do things. It's kind of like bringing an Android and an iPhone together and you're trying to figure out how to make it work and become one system. Dang, that was a good analogy. I like that. I like that a lot because that was good. That was real good. Don't. I'm not editing this, so if I have these weird little breakdowns or my mind is computing, just roll with it, okay? I told the lady at work today that I think I'm autistic. And she was like, why would you say that? I was like, because I truly do. It stemmed from telling her I was opening up the pizza box because it's Michigan Count Day today. And employers love to give you pizza. I'm saying that like I didn't order it myself for the team. I ordered the pizza because pizza the only place that really delivered for us. So we had pizza. But I was opening the pizza box in the cardboard. I cannot stand to hear cardboard scratching. I was like, girl, I think I'm just autistic and that's just what it is. I think I'm somewhere on the spectrum. It's okay. But that's why I said that. Like if you see me blanking out or kind of whatever, just attribute to that. That baby is on the spectrum and it's okay. Damn, I lost my train of thought. I don't know, but moral of the story, relationships take work and you cannot expect your person to abide by everything that you abide by based on your upbringing and your thought process and how you go about doing things. Because they had a whole last life before they met you, baby. And that's something I knew, but this relationship is making me realize that. Like, it's so many things that I have to untrain about myself because I try to like, you gotta do it this way and you gotta be like this. No, they're their own person. They gonna live how they want to live and do what they want to do as long as it is not interfering with the growth of the relationship type of thing, if I'm making sense. But I had to learn how to relax because sometimes I do be on tip, and I can say that. Sometimes I am extremely aggressive. Sometimes I am like, what is the word that I'm looking for? I'm gonna just use anal. Sometimes I am extremely anal about things that it don't even be that deep. It's not that deep. So just trying to learn how to navigate through my own mess and not put it off on my partner. The other thing that I also realized is accountability. If you follow my podcast, you know that a couple years ago I was in counseling and I learned all of these new tools and coping mechanisms and all of that. But one thing that counseling taught me was that I didn't have any boundaries. I had zero boundaries and I wasn't taking accountability for that. Because yes, a person can do what they're going to do to you and say what they're going to say to you or whatever, but you don't have to tolerate it. You don't have to stick around. You don't have to continue to deal with that. So I had to learn how to take accountability for me being in these situationships or these toxic relationships for however long I was in them, and for allowing these people to do the things that they were doing to me. I had to learn how to take accountability for that. And granted, yes, the person is doing what they're doing, but that's because you're allowing them to do it. I guarantee you, if you don't allow something or if you put a boundary down and you don't tolerate that, the person is either going to stop doing it or y'all not going to be in a relationship or a situation anymore because you put your foot down. And that's something that I never was doing. And I had to learn how to set healthy boundaries. Like, no, that's not something I'm willing to tolerate or compromise on. And that has been like a huge lift in my life. The other thing that I recognize about relationships is take your time building that relationship. Like the person I'm with now, we started off as friends. Like that's my dog for sure. We started off as friends and we worked our way into a relationship. The crazy part is he didn't think I liked him and I didn't think he liked me. And here we are a year something later. Like what? And that is something that I think is extremely important, like getting to know your partner. And I think you will spend the rest of your life getting to know people. Like even look at your family. You can see your family or you grew up with your family, whatever. I use my sister and myself as an example. We grew up together like our entire lives. And I am still getting to know things about her because as you mature, as you get older, as you're in different stages of your life, things are going to change. Things about you are going to change. Your likes and your dislikes are going to change. You just constantly are evolving as a person. We're lifelong learners. So, of course, you are constantly going to be getting to know someone. So, establishing that baseline of a friendship first, that was probably the best thing that I could have done in this relationship. And truly building like trust and appreciation for one another. Chef's kiss. And I recognize that I always used to think that I was doing something wrong or that I was asking for too much. But I was just asking the wrong people. Like the person that I'm with now, he will do things freely without even me having to ask. And it can be simple stuff like if he knows I don't have a towel in the bathroom, he gonna put a towel in there. He makes me breakfast every Saturday. Like no question about it, unless I be like, hey, I want to make breakfast, or hey, let's go out for breakfast. Just simple, sweet things that he does that I appreciate. If he's out and he sees something that he thinks that I will like, or that reminds him of me, he's going to buy it. It can be a 2-cent piece of bubble gum, a keychain, a water mug, whatever it is. It's just, I really appreciate stuff like that because I'm the type of person, I'm very sentimental. If you give me something, 9 times out of 10, I'm always have it. If it's something, you know, that lasts that long. So I'm really big on small things like that. Like, oh, that made you think of me. You bought it for me. Thank you so much. It puts a smile on my face. And to have somebody that does that effortlessly on a continuous basis, yeah. And he listens. I can't emphasize that enough. To have a partner that actually takes the time to listen to you, the best apology is change behavior. So I could tell him, hey, I don't like when you do that. I don't appreciate that. He'll be like, all right, I'm gonna work on it. And you actually see him working on that shit. I can honestly say I don't think I've ever for real been with a man that was like that. They'll do it for a little while and stop. I'm not naggy with him. I recognize that I was like that in a lot of relationships. I thought that me constantly saying something was gonna make the person change. And I also thought that I could change people. I was like, yep, if they love me enough, they're gonna do X, Y, and Z, whatever. But I also recognize in doing that, baby, if God can't change this person's heart, what makes you think that you can? That's why you have to love some people from a distance. Like you literally have to let them sit with God and let God work on them, because it's not your job. It's not your responsibility. And I don't think I knew that before. I knew it, but I didn't know it. I had to literally walk that line. You feel me? Dang, I forgot my train of thought. But that was big for me, learning that. And just allowing him to be who he is and not constantly nagging or trying to change him. Granted, it's things that I will, work on to elevate him as a man, but I'm not constantly nagging him. You do this wrong. You forgot to do this. You didn't do that. Yada, yada, yada. That shit's annoying. Shut up. And it's not going to make the situation any better. It's not going to produce this version of your person that you're looking to, come out. And I learned that through previous relationships. Like, you can nag this man all day. It's not going to change a thing. If they wanted to, they would. That's the bottom line. And I was always with people that just didn't want to. I remember my last relationship, this motherfucker forgot my birthday. Like, I had to tell him, what's today? Bitch, Tuesday? No, it's my birthday, ho. And that was hurtful for me, because I'm the type of person, I remember birthdays. I remember little things. If you tell me, I'm a birthday, I'll remember that. So for him not to remember my birthday, that was crazy work. But then here I am, I meet this man, and it's like, I only had to tell him when my birthday was once. And he remembered it before we was even in a relationship. So just little things like that. I think meeting him, me working on myself, being more understanding of what a relationship is, the components that make a relationship work, things along those lines, got me to this point that I can maintain a healthy relationship. Because some of this stuff, if I would have met him the year before last, or the year before that, or whatever, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I wouldn't have been ready, because I had to do the work for myself in order to be ready to do the work with him. Because honestly, a relationship is hard. Like, maintaining a relationship is hard. It is very hard. It takes a lot of work. My mama has always said marriage is going to be the most difficult job you ever have. And relationships are like the prerequisite to marriage. So they're not gonna be easy. And I say all of that to remind people that there are still good people in this world. I know a lot of people have been in horrible situations. You've been with liars, cheaters, deceivers, whether you are a man or a woman, because let's face it, it's a lot of ain't shit men and it's a lot of ain't shit women. So when we deal with a certain type of person or many people like that, and we've had these negative experiences, we start to associate that with all of relationships. And we like, oh, I'm done with love. Fuck that. I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't want this. I don't want that. But I promise you, all people are not like that. There are good people in this world. There are people that are going to give you what you need without you having to ask for it. There are teachable people in this world. That's something that I do want to touch on, because I hear a lot of people, specifically women, say, I'm not going to teach somebody how to love me. You kind of have to. And I used to be one of those people. I'm not going to teach you how to love me, but you kind of have to, because people love how they know how to love. But your partner might not know how to love you. You might have to be like, hey, these are the things that make me feel loved. This is going to make me feel this way. And either they're going to catch it or they're not. I'm not saying you got to sit and, coddle a person. Hey, you have to do this, this, and this way, yada, yada, yada. But you can give a person a little guidance. You can give them a little insight into what you like, what you appreciate, and what makes you feel loved, And I think the more you are with the person and the more a person pays attention to you, yeah, they're going to start picking up on them things on their own. But it's okay, to kind of coach your partner on how to love you. So that's definitely something I had to learn. And just understanding that you have to let your past go. If you truly in your heart of heart want a relationship, you want to get married, you have to let your past go. You can't keep allowing that to resurface, thinking that that's going to be the standard for all relationships, because it's not. Every person is not your ex. Every person is not going to do the same things that your ex did. And with that, you have to do the work. You can't be the same person that you were in your previous relationship. You can't think that your shit don't stink and it does. You have to do the work too. And I'm so thankful that I learned that, and I'm so thankful that I took a time out from talking to people and being in relationships and dating, because I was just spinning my wheels. I was starting to talk to people that I had talked to when I was younger, because I'm like, oh, we older now, maybe we can make it work. No, you the same fuckboy you was when we was 19. Okay? And just allowing myself to welcome love into my space, allowing myself to welcome a healthy relationship into my space, and allowing myself to believe that these things are possible. And I'm not sitting here like I have all of the answers, or like I'm still not working through different things, because I definitely am. But I am in a place that I can receive love, where I can receive this good man being in my life. So it's been a very interesting process, and I just wanted to share that with y'all, especially for my hopeless romantics. I am a hopeless romantic. I truly am. That don't give up on love if that's what you want. Don't give up on a healthy relationship if that's what you desire, because you definitely can find it. And I know we always say it's plenty of fish in the sea, but let's face it, a lot of those fish suck. They're toxic. It's diarrhea in the dating pool. It's a host of things. People have these weird fetishes. People trying to get a come up. People want to be in relationships to clout chase. All type of stuff. I know it's bad out here, okay? But don't let that deter you from going after what you want. Okay? Yeah. I truly want people to face those things about themselves and their past, so that they can heal and move forward. Because a lot of people, their hurt shows by the things that they say in their thought process. And this is coming from a person who had those same thoughts, who had that same hurt on my shoulders. I'm done relationships. Fuck all men. I'm gonna just be by myself. Maybe I'm gonna be a lesbian. Maybe a woman can treat me better. I went through all of those. I went through all of those motions, all of it. But I had to sit down and I had to work on myself. I had to heal. I had to grow from my past. So yeah. And then last thing I will say about relationships is that you have to be willing to let each day be a new day. You can't keep blaming your man or your woman or holding stuff over their head that they did 2 months ago. Either you're going to forgive them and move forward, or you're not. But also with that, I know that it's hard to forgive a person when they have hurt you deeply, but the best apology is change behavior. So if a person is actually trying to do something different and trying to show you something different, allow them. I think that's all I wanted to say. So that's my little 2 cents. You know, I am all for learning, growing, maturing, and just laying my burdens down with God. Because I know I spent a lot of time holding on to things that I wasn't meant to hold on to. I spent a lot of time holding on to baggage that wasn't mine. I had checking in a baggage claim. Okay. And just truly strengthening my relationship with God and talking to him and, you know, pouring out my heart. This is what I want. This is where I've been. This is what I've had to deal with and all of that. And just truly making myself open to receiving what I done took to God. And let me tell y'all something. This is why they say, be careful what you ask for and be ready to receive what you ask for. Because when I met this man, and I tell you things moved, like, I still have my own apartment, which is crazy. Like, I still pay rent for a whole apartment. But I practically moved in with this man. And this was after months of us getting to know each other and being friends and then making it official. Like, he asked me to be his girlfriend. That's what a lot of people also don't do. Like, we just together. There is no confusion about what we have going on. That was my issue in a lot of past relationships. It's like, I'm good enough to sleep with and for you to come stay with me and eat up my food, me watch your kid, me let you use my car, me doing all of these things and you pulling me in 99 different directions. But then I ask you what we doing and you look at me like I'm slow. What you mean? And with him, there was no chaos. There was no confusion. I was his woman and that's what it was. He knew what he wanted and he came and got it. And I think that's the big thing. Stop letting people play with y'all. I know I went left, but I'm bringing it back. Stop letting people play with you. Because that's what it boils down to. You're not a toy. And you need to know you're not a toy. And you got to put your foot down sometimes. If a person is being inconsistent or they lying or whatever the case is, cut them off. Cut them off. Because why you letting somebody play with you? You hurt your own feelings. So again, going back to accountability. You have to be accountable for the things that you allow in your life and for the people that you allow to enter your life. And none of this is easy. It's not. It's frustrating. It can be painful, all of that. But at the end of the day, having a healthy relationship and being in the space that I'm in now, this is the happiest I've ever been with a man. Everything that I have went through with other men and other relationships and other situationships, including when I was engaged, all of that, it was worth it to get to this point. All of the things that I had to go to learn those lessons, it was worth it. So again, if love in a relationship is what you want, don't give up on that shit because it got hard or because you done dealt with this person or that person or because you done went through X amount of people that wasn't any good. And in the meantime, while you are waiting for your man or your woman, work on you. Be the best version of yourself and fully get to know and love on yourself and pour into yourself so that when that person does come, you ready. That's the point that I was trying to make, because I remember constantly praying for the type of man that I have now. Like, I was talking to God, like, help me to work on the things that I need to work on to receive him and all of that. And when I started to do those things, it came so fast. So when you ask something from God, make sure you're ready to receive it. And I don't think, like, I was ready to receive him, but I don't think I was ready for the amount of work that it was going to take to maintain receiving him. So that was the interesting part. But definitely don't give up on love, don't give up on relationships, and don't give up on yourself, because you are deserving of all of the things that you want. And there is somebody out there willing to give it to you. And the last thing that I will say is, stop looking for other people to be your happiness and to be your peace and all of that. You got to find your happiness. You have to find your peace. You can't expect somebody else to give that to you. That's too much. That's too much of a burden. Or what happens when you no longer in a relationship with them? You don't know how to be happy, or you no longer in a relationship with them. You don't know how to bring yourself peace. No. A person can contribute to your happiness. They can contribute to your peace. They can contribute to whatever, but they cannot be the sole source of that. And I'm saying that from the depths of my soul, baby. Okay? And understand a lot of the things that you're seeking, like joy, that come from God. That joy comes from God. Peace comes from God. Nobody else can give you that. So, yeah, I leave y'all with that. I hope that y'all enjoyed this episode. I know I was kind of all over the place and kind of, rambling, but we tied it back in. We tied it back in. Again, I hope to make podcasts consistently every 2 weeks. If you are interested in being on an episode of the podcast, whether it's an interview or you just want to come chop it up, let me know. I definitely hope to do more video podcasts. And that's only because the app that I was using to record a podcast pulled a shiesty move on me, and I don't know how to record audio and make podcasts like that, how I was. So video is kind of what I have to resort to. I don't like that, but that's where we at. But yeah, let me know if you're interested, and we get it cracking. Y'all already know who it is. It's your girl, Amber J. And you already know what to do. Drink your water, mind your business. I'll see y'all next time. Bye!